Okay guys, just a very quick weekly forecast video. It's running down from the monthly this time around, just to see exactly how we do a top-down analysis. So what we can see is on the monthly, we can see that this supply here is effectively being held up, and it's been respected at this point, and it's continued to be respected even though we've got equal highs left behind here. So what we will do, we'll go down to the lower time frames and see exactly what's happened here. So we can see the supply that was kind of created around this area. We had a retracement, break of structure to the downside that occurred at this point. Market came back up, tested the supply, respected the supply, and even on a monthly, if we want to see how accurate our market maker levels are, we can go back and just double check on a monthly time frame. This was respected within 20 pips. Okay, so it just shows you how key levels are held and respected to a certain degree. So effectively that's respected. We then had another dip down for demand. COVID liquidity was left behind here, took out inefficient price levels here. Liquidity was lying down here as equal lows, liquidated with the COVID liquidity that we saw, and then we've gone for buys. However, those buys also have not been able to break above the supply that was respected previously, and it was held up by supply that was created here. So recently, if we come down and we see exactly what's happened, the equal highs are left behind here, which obviously leads us to believe that there will be a liquidity spike above this and continuation bullish in the future. However, we have seen on the weekly, we've got a compression consolidation move down to the downside, and we're kind of moving into areas where we had liquidity marked up previously. So when we go down onto the daily, we can see how previous liquidity has been taken out and left behind equal lows, and effectively around this time now where we've had the retracement from taking these lows, we've also left behind further liquidity down here. However, there are the levels that we marked up on the higher time frames for COVID liquidity down here that we're expecting the market to reach down into. This is a compression move to the downside. I believe it's going to continue down to a certain degree. However, in recent days, we can see that there's a continuation move to the downside. It's pretty much a fall off a cliff. However, you've got these small little dips in between where you have induced supply coming in to continue the move down, continue the move down again. And we can see it kind of marries up with where we have areas of demand. The supply is induced to kind of break through those areas of demand. So that continually happens. Right now, we're through demand. The previous level that we had held and marked up with equal lows down here has been broken twice this week. So we had two levels marked up here on the 4 hour where we had equal lows determined here, here, and here. It got left behind here again, a triple top, triple bottom effectively. Don't have to use those retail terms, but effectively a triple bottom was left behind, and then the demand was broken and liquidity grabbed down below, which also took liquidity down here and filled an inefficiency FVG down here, fair value gap. The imbalance here was filled, hit a 4 hour demand, and then we've seen a slight reversal from there. So effectively, these levels of equal lows have been taken. This demand has been taken. Okay, so now we're looking to see exactly what the market does in terms of a retracement from the demand. It's left behind equal lows, probably looking for a slight bullish move into some area of supply. We have got our supply left behind here as well, which we've left on the charts because it still is relevant to us. So we will effectively pull that across into the current week, just as a point of reference to ensure that we don't forget that we've got these areas historically that we've marked up and that we possibly want to be monitoring. Okay, so we've got areas of 1 hour supply, 30-minute supply that are relevant at the moment. And what we probably want to try and do is from the 4 hour supply, because we have got a consolidation here at the moment, it may be an accumulation to go to the upside to then break down lower. There is equal lows left behind here, so we may even see a liquidity grab to the downside to move out of this demand again, mitigating it deeper, to then go for buys short term to then reverse for sells. So if we look in on the 1 hour chart, we can see supply at the moment has been held up here. It's been respected. However, this is quite an important supply as well. So on the 1 hour, we probably want to watch this area with some keen interest. So we'll mark that in. That's a 1 hour supply zone. It may even fall into this level here because obviously we've got an imbalance here as well. Probably want to watch. And then obviously you've got these large imbalances here and the supply zone here, which kind of created a big push to the downside, big volume move. I'm not sure whether this was NFP or not. May well have been actually. NFP caused this spike down. So effectively news-induced volume, and then the continuation was through this supply here, which kind of broke structure to the downside and then took us down into demand, which is now obviously consolidating and probably moving up to the upside. So we may well see a few of these points respected along the way. Supply here, obviously a whole bunch of orders maybe sitting above this as well, where we saw the move in the news. It seems to have been liquidated because we had equal highs left behind, liquidated with the news and then pushed to the downside. But again, there may well be some orders inefficient areas left behind in this wick above. So that's an area that we kind of want to monitor as well. What we will do, instead of kind of chalking it up too much with a large amount of zones, we'll kind of put a fib here so we can watch for the 50% mitigation on this level. Okay, just pull that across for the week ahead. And then to ensure that we get it accurate, we'll just kind of drop it in on that point there. So that's our 50% mitigation of that inefficient wick. And we've got the supply marked up above. So effectively, like I said, what we're probably watching for, if we go down to 30 minutes, just to be sure, obviously you've got tighter zones and areas of interest here that we can kind of monitor closely when the market gets to that level. Equal highs left behind here. So we're kind of sitting between two levels, it seems, at the moment. Okay, equal highs, relative equal highs. So we've got this level here and the level below, which we're kind of compressing between at the moment. So we've got an accumulation of orders, possible wick down to the upside or possible breakthrough to the upside into supply and then testing the demand again. So again, we don't make any projections, but what we will do is we're probably looking for something like this. Okay, option 1. Option 2 would possibly be from here up, respecting the supply, swap zone up into here. So those are the two options that we'd probably be looking to target, depending upon what happens. This is kind of what I'm looking at as our projection for the week ahead. We'll see how it kind of plans out. Obviously, there are areas of interest close by. We're kind of compressed currently between an area of consolidation, so we want to see what the market decides to do before we get into our initial trade. But these are the areas that we're looking to target initially. I will be putting this up on the channel now. It's a little bit later than what I would have anticipated. The market's just opened, but it's enough for us to kind of target London Open, which is our key trading time for the week ahead. Mondays are usually quite sketchy, so be wary. You'll probably see a consolidation move on Monday, liquidation, and then Tuesday through to Thursday will be when the main move happens. But we want to try and obviously monitor these areas initially and see what we end up with as the week progresses. As always, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, drop them into the comments or on the Instagram, DM me, and obviously I'll be happy to help. Trade safe, be safe, and hope you guys have a good week. Take care, bye.